Hey everyone, we are about to go live and talk about data diversification for advertisers. There's a lot going on in the marketplace. Give us a few moments while we set up here, and we're about to go live. Check out this new intro. So there's a lot going on, you guys, in the world of Facebook with digital media, with data, with marketing. There's so much happening. Where do we start? Recently I wrote an article in the Forbes LA Business Council, talking about Facebook is the $22 billion leader of the digital advertising kingdoms. Okay, so if you think about digital advertising, you know that there's the kingdom of Twitter, there's the kingdom of Pinterest, of LinkedIn, and certainly of Facebook. $22 billion is being run, or is expected to be run, by Facebook in digital media. Hey, Hank. And this year, that's a prediction by eMarketer, right? And what we're seeing in the marketplace right now is a massive firestorm hitting Facebook, right? This reminds me of, I think 2010, 2011, Facebook had another issue where they were they set up their users, their system so that it shows that users are endorsing or recommending pages that are being watched. And there's a little bit of a backlash to that. This feels to me exponentially bigger, and there's a few lessons to be learned here. And I think I think with general data protection that's happening in Europe, that's coming online, I think in the middle of May, and a variety of other issues taking place. What we're seeing, from the perspective of a marketer and an advertiser, the data that Facebook collects on us, on all of us users, is incredibly powerful. And there's lots of other companies, Axiom, Nielsen, Experian, or Oracle, who are all collecting data about who we are and where we go in the physical world, the type of lives that we lead, the things we purchase on our MasterCard and Visa. Vizio is tracking the things that we watch on cable and broadcast television, right? So these are powerful, really effective marketing tools that we all have. I think Facebook, I don't know. Don't look to me for stock tips. What I do know, what I am paying attention to from the stock perspective, Hank, is that Bitcoin is down about 7,900, Litecoin is about 140, and Ethereum is about 450. I think they'll drop a little bit more, and then I think they're going to bounce up to a new record high or all-time high by the end of this year. So I'm actually paying a lot more attention to Bitcoin, to Litecoin, to Ethereum, and what's the last one? Bitcoin Cash and Electronium. That's my crypto portfolio. If you guys want to know, and Ripple. That's the other one. I think. I don't know if Facebook, because it's hard for me to prognosticate on the value of Facebook stock. What I'm thinking about is the perspective of those of us in the media and advertising business. Hank, there's folks who have substantial business writing on Facebook. There's an entire community of advertising agency owners and business owners who run their media exclusively on Facebook. They're Facebook exclusive advertising agencies, right? Which I think is really interesting. And I think this really speaks to the need for diversification. The more diversified any one of us is, just like investing in a stock portfolio, I think is so much more valuable for us. We're fortunate enough to have partners, agency partners, platform partners, that allow Brill Media to be diversified both in the types of work that we do, the types of campaigns that we run, and the types of platforms and capabilities and functionalities that come with those platforms. And I think we see this time and time again. Where people invest in platforms. There was a company. I won't mention the name, because when I had lunch with this person, they asked me not to talk about it. publicly, so I won't mention the name or who I had lunch with. This was about 2 years ago now. There's a company that built their entire business, their lead generation, their marketing business exclusively on Twitter. And I think Twitter is an immensely valuable. In fact, I met some really important business contacts and clients through Twitter, and I'm immensely grateful for them. But Twitter was such a mess from the perspective of building a business on top of it that one day they just wiped. They changed the way that their followers. Twitter changed the way that they allow people to comment, to tweet, the number of people that they could like on a daily basis. And it's quite possible that this company was out of the terms and services, the T's and C's that you need to be having accounts on Twitter. The point is they were doing things that you weren't supposed to be doing on Twitter. They built their entire business on Twitter, and literally within a couple days, a week, they lost some of the most valuable assets that they had. Essentially what they were doing, they were building audiences on Twitter, on Twitter accounts using automated liking and following behaviors for specific audiences. So like moms or auto enthusiasts or electronics enthusiasts, etc. And because they didn't anticipate this change, and because Twitter didn't announce it, and because they weren't in an official partnership with Twitter, just kind of doing their own thing on top of Twitter, this business failed. The person I met with, he was the founder. The business doesn't exist anymore. You'll never hear about it again. And I really think time and time again over the course of the last 10 years, we see companies building their business on top of other platforms, and then it gets washed away. It either gets washed away because Facebook or Google changes their algorithm. It hurts publishers. It gets washed away because the platform owner changes the types of permissions that are available. It washes away because there's a public outcry over data. And I think the other thing this thing taught me, this entire sort of fiasco that's happening with Facebook, well, number one, if you get too big, you're going to have a lot of powerful people gunning for you. I think we all know that. The bigger the game that you play, the more people are going to hate on you, the more people are going to try to bring you down. And I say this half jokingly, but whenever I hear someone identify that they have haters, or they hate the haters, or they hate the naysayers or whatnot, that they're unhappy about it. If I see that in a conversation or on a Facebook post, I always come back to that and say, you haven't made it until you have haters. Right? Haters is a sign that you're doing something that people are paying attention to, and that people have opinions about. Recently, I've been running some ads for our programmatic trading. So if I think some of the folks on this video are, they know everything they need to know about programmatic advertising. But if you don't, if you go to programmatic.brillmedia.co, or if you go to brief.brillmedia.co, you can download our 2018 programmatic guide, or brief, or it's a 4-page guide to programmatic advertising. And we also link to our training. And the training is nine modules. It's 4 hours, and I continue to add to it. And I've been approached by other folks to do a more generalized digital marketing or digital advertising training, so I'm working on that as well, coming down the line. But the idea is, I've been meeting with folks, my immensely fabulous, amazing network of people that I've come to know over the last 15 years in digital advertising. And some of them have noticed that they've seen the ads, and I like it. And one of them said, there's too many ads, and I love it. I love it because I want to be top of mind with you. And I'm okay. I'm okay if you're seeing my ads all the time, because you know what? I love advertising. I love ads. And we live in an attention economy. We live in an environment with so much information coming at us every single moment of our lives, whether it's Facebook Live or YouTube videos or the Facebook news feed or the content that's on television or the billboard on the side of the road, or the neon signs in Times Square, whatever you're talking about. There's so much, not to mention, those are all brands and businesses. Don't forget the attention that you need to be paying to your family, to your friends, to the life that you live. Attention is so critical, and the more that any one of us, or any business owner, or any product or service can garner attention, even to a small group of people, because I'm remarketing to a small group of people, it's valuable. I like that people are seeing my ads, and I'm not worried about killing the brand. There you go, Michael, just for you. And I'm not worried about killing the brand because we're just getting started. It's very interesting. We live in an attention economy. This is, a lot of these ideas I've heard from other folks. I've sort of cultivated and curated ideas that resonate with me. One of the things I learned over the last few years is pick and choose the content or the information that you particularly are interested in, and run with it. And if it doesn't apply to you, if it doesn't appeal to you, or if it doesn't resonate with you, don't worry about it, and that's okay. This idea of living in an attention economy, and fortunately or unfortunately, everyone has their ideas, their attention focused, or a lot of folks, I should say, have their attention focused on Facebook. So I see two things about this Facebook fiasco that we're facing. Number one, the public has no understanding truly of the magnitude of data targeting that is happening in the marketplace. They have a right to know, they don't. I think one of the most interesting parts of my job is working with business owners, large and small, advertising agencies, large and small, and sharing with them the immense power of the advertising that we can access. So, for example, I was on the phone the other day with a company and with an ad agency, and we were telling them that we can identify people who watch certain content on Vizio through tracking the pixels on the television screen of what shows you watch on cable and television, and be able to serve ads to people in out-of-home environments, screens, billboards, transit shelters, all that stuff, in environments where we know the people who watch a certain television show, where those people go in the physical world. And they were stunned. I don't know if they're stunned. I mean, that's a little dramatic. They were interested. They say, I like that. Tell me more about how that works. So maybe that's not stunning, but the point is I love it when I can talk to seasoned professionals and share something with them that they didn't know can happen, right? So that's really exciting for me. And so you can imagine what happens when I share that type of information with smaller, mid-sized business owners who may not really have a full grasp of all the marketing capabilities that are out there, certainly advertising data in its own specific set. The public doesn't know. My wife knows, my mother knows, maybe my mother-in-law and father-in-law have a bit of it because that's half of what I talk about. The public doesn't know. And I think we're at a watershed moment. I don't know where this will lead. I've been reading some articles on this, and one point to note is that Apple, Steve Jobs in particular, many years ago, maybe 8-10 years ago, really advocated for providing a space for the public to truly understand in very simple human terms what's happening with their data. And the part you need to discuss, changing your creative messaging to fit the mindset of the consumer when they're, the best type of targeting is context of the user's mindset, what they're thinking about when they're seeing the ad, and being able to serve ads that speak to that mindset. And certainly that's possible, and it's happening a lot with dynamic creative and digital environments. That's starting to happen with out of home. The idea really here at the end of the day is that it's quite possible that this thing that's happening with Facebook, I'm sure some people are already deleting Facebook. I've seen that hashtag. Personally, I'm okay with it. I'm okay if people leave Facebook, because I think Facebook is still an immensely strong and an immensely powerful business. And And the reality of it is that the more people, here's what it is. One of the things I missed in Hank when I was working with you guys, one of the things I missed and I wasn't sure of, and I had some powerful opinions about, and I didn't really know how to resolve them, is when I'd have a client, a big client, a Fortune 500 advertiser, a spirits brand, electronics manufacturer, question, should we be on Facebook? And I was like, I mean, I get it. Like, I think we should be on Facebook. I think it's powerful. I see the upside. Like, there's a lot of algorithmic decisioning. There's a lot of great data. It's a clean, safe space for content. By contrast to MySpace, which was all sparkles and glitter and kind of like visually nauseating, Facebook was a very clean environment. But advertisers would say, I don't know. They would hem and haw. They'd say, well, we'll test a little bit on Facebook. The thing that's happening that I've sort of resolved in and sort of is helping me define how I choose what I work on is, something that I hear Gary Vaynerchuk talk about a lot, which is day trading attention, right? I'm okay if Facebook is embattled. I'm okay if people, small percentage of people, even a large percentage of people walk away from Facebook for a while. I'm okay if they're getting bad press because you know what? If CPMs on Facebook drop, that means that I can reach people on Facebook effectively and probably less expensively because I have a very powerful algorithm, great ads, great environments, great targeting, great optimization, right? It's a great environment. So the more people hate on Facebook, it's quite likely that the lower the CPMs are going to be for brands who remain on Facebook, and the more powerful the Facebook ads will get. Now, that goes away completely if Facebook goes the way of MySpace. I totally get that. There's an extreme example, and I don't think we're anywhere near there. Another thing that's really interesting is Snapchat. I'd like to be doing more with Snapchat, with the programmatic advertising that you can have on Snapchat, that you can deploy on Snapchat. The point of this all is to say that haterade, naysayers, I think you're doing something big when you have naysayers and you have haters. And I think that's okay. I think, where will consumers go who leave Facebook? That's interesting. I think, some young ones are going to Snapchat, Musically. Those are two platforms that I think are interesting. I don't know. I don't know where users are going because where can you get, I don't know where you go on, see the users who go away from Facebook, to me, it demonstrates a lack of fundamental understanding about any digital environment. You're being tracked on your phone. I can serve ads to you based on where you go in the physical world, but you don't see people getting rid of their cell phone. So you can get on Facebook, that's cool, but Facebook is still tracking you when you sign into Pandora. So maybe that rule changes, and maybe there's a federal rule that doesn't allow Facebook to do that. I think Facebook got sued in like Europe somewhere, or the EU, because they were tracking users outside of Facebook. Okay, the point is every digital environment is tracking you, and this type of tracking was happening before the internet existed with direct mail. So you had a subscription to Time Magazine, your data was being sold, and you were being given direct mail. This is an amplification of that. I don't think it matters where users go because the tracking is still there. The user who doesn't want to be tracked needs to get rid of their cell phone, get a dumb TV, for lack of a better term, the antithesis of a smart TV, be off the web completely. It's basically taken away the modern elements of communication that a consumer uses. And humans, fundamentally, we need to communicate. It is literally torture to isolate a human from other humans. That's what we want to do. So I think Facebook, having a strong platform, a great business model, some of the best decisioning and algorithms in the marketplace, has the benefit, with all that there, has the benefit of human nature. People want to be part of the party. I don't think it lasts long. I think Facebook, I don't think Facebook is quote unquote hurting. I mean, they lost lots of, their stock valuation lost 100 million or $100 billion, some exorbitant amount, right? Okay, that's cool, but they're still there. They're still doing great. I'm not concerned for Facebook. I'm concerned for the folks who think that they're going to get off of Facebook and think they're not going to be tracked by every other data company in the marketplace. That's just the way it is. They're going to be tracked. I think I need to get out of the LA mindset. Conservative people. But Hank, this is not about religion. This is not about gun rights. None of this has to do with gun rights. This is fundamentally about human nature. Humans want to communicate. And that's the agreement that we have. We're going to get humans are going to get the benefit of billions of dollars of development and technology. It's like going to see a movie, right? There's no way, it's an amazing deal to be able to walk into the theater and watch Infinity War next month, which costs, I don't know how many tens of millions or, 100, I don't know how much it costs. Let's say $20 million to make that movie. You get the benefit of a $20 million movie and you get to pay $10 to get it. That's the deal that Americans want. That's the deal what the world wants. That's what makes humanity great. The ability for people, for experts in a certain field to create something that is fundamentally something that alters the way we communicate. We get the benefit of that for free. Or we get to watch a movie for $10, $20, whatever it is. That's interesting. So so the question that I'm responding to is people lost trust as Facebook was not truthful. Okay, I get it. I mean, that's true. You have your word. You have your word. And words matter, by the way, too, right? Mark Zuckerberg, when he was a kid, he still is a kid, but when he was like in college, they trusted me with their data, these dumb Fs. I'm not going to curse here. Okay, that's very interesting. I mean, those words come back to hurt you, no matter how long it's been or what kind of a different person the user is. So I think it's very interesting. Absolutely. I have a call right now. Holy cow, who might this be? It's my wife. So anyway, the net takeaway for this is, let me just change something here. The net takeaway for this is diversify your business as much as possible. I'm very grateful that we have great partners that are diversified, that we get to work on media across the marketplace, across digital screens. We have fantastic programmatic platforms. And what I'll do is I'll transition this to this end slide. So I'm using a platform called OBS, Online Broadcasting System or Software. And I created this graphic. It took me all weekend to create this graphic. Holy cow. And to get it to work with the camera. I bought a new camera, the whole thing. So check this out. And if you anyone who wants to download our free programmatic brief, hold on, let's see what Hank is saying. People lost trust as Facebook was not truthful. It's not the data sharing, it's being lied to and being deceitful. Okay. I mean, that's fine. Look, if people are going to go away from Facebook, they're going to go away from Facebook. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think 3 months from now, I don't think 2 years from now that Facebook is going to go the way of MySpace. I just don't think so. I think people are going to stay on Facebook. I'm not defending Facebook. I'm not into the nuances of whether they lied or whether they weren't truthful or whether they didn't properly disclose. I mean, Vizio, check this out. Vizio is part of a lawsuit right now because they were tracking people's behavior on their television like 2-3 years ago without notifying people. So then they changed their notification system so that people had to accept the terms and conditions. I get that that's the issue, right? So I mean, I get like it's never good business to be deceitful. Just generally speaking, like don't do bad things. Don't omit certain things. Be very specific about what your intentions are. Do good, and people will do good. Be grateful. Everything that's open and on the up and up and clear and fairly described as the best business practice. They towed the line, absolutely. They definitely are doing things that we're like, oh, I don't know. It'll be all right if they don't find out. But here's the thing: every bad thing that people do, it comes out. People figure it out, which is really just the way things are. With all that said, not defending Facebook, at the end of the day, people are going to stay on Facebook because all their friends are on Facebook. And if their friends go away from Facebook, Facebook is crack cocaine. Let me just be very clear. I have not actually tried crack cocaine. What I'm saying is, it's like McDonald's. It's like it's McDonald's and Facebook. It's like crack cocaine. It's that thing that you keep coming back to, and you realize you spend 15 minutes on Facebook watching cat videos and a dog being dropped in the snow because it's snowing and falling into the snow, and cat videos and whatever it is. It's addictive, and I think the combination of people want to communicate, and you've got a fantastic platform, and you have an addictive type of algorithmically driven platform. It's going to result in people staying on Facebook. What I think is also interesting about Facebook is that, yes, advertisers are in fact pulling ads on Facebook. Not all, not many. I've had those conversations. Absolutely. Advertisers are definitely thinking about Facebook. It's your rite of passage, right? You've gotta, you're gonna do big things. You're gonna have that moment. Yes, I think some advertisers are having second thoughts about what they're doing on Facebook or whether they should be on that. And that's a conservative element, right? Not religiously conservative or politically conservative. It's, do I want to be the one who has to defend being on Facebook? And if the answer is no, then I'm just not going to be on Facebook. It's a missed opportunity, because at the end of the day, the advertiser, the thing that's sad about this is that, if you tie one arm behind your back, you're missing great opportunities. At the end of the day, it's still critically important to diversify, right? As the momentum builds and the hearing in Congress are in the news. All right, Hank, what's the second part of that? They could pull away. Yeah, they will. Some advertisers will. They're going to lose. That $22 billion might be like $20 billion this year or $19 billion this year. And I'm okay with it. I mean, I don't think this is not the end of Facebook. Even though Mark Zuckerberg, what resonates with me are those photos of Mark Zuckerberg where he looks like Data from Star Trek. Like that sort of resonates, which I think is really funny. But words matter. The things you say, the things you do matter. The things you say are so critical. I mean, the words you use create the world. And if you have a soundbite with you as a 20-year-old saying people are dumb for sharing their data with you, don't say that. Don't do stupid things. Don't say stupid things, no matter how trivial it may seem at the time. So anyway, if you're out there in a Facebook advertising agency land and your entire business is focused on Facebook, maybe it's time for you to learn programmatic advertising, data and automation. So if you want to learn more, go to brief.brillmedia.co. If you want to see the training, go to programmatic.brillmedia.co. Finally, we have two more things. Go to groups, digital ads community, where we're building our group for digital advertisers. Talk about things that are related to the business. Oh, Hank, thank you so much. And then on YouTube, we're building our YouTube channel, and I have my best man from our wedding, and my really just my friend for 20 years now, or 17 years now, Anthony. He built me some videos which are still developed, not on the YouTube page yet, What we're going to do on YouTube is create more content around business owners, around entrepreneurs in the LA area. I recently had the opportunity to interview Noel Lee. Noel Lee is the CEO of Monster Cables. He's the person who created Beats by Dre. I interviewed Jeffrey Hazlett, who's a former CMO of Kodak. And I interviewed a number of other folks at recently, and so those videos are being developed, and so those will be on the YouTube channel, and so go to YouTube, subscribe, and you'll start seeing some content that is not exclusively focused on programmatic advertising. So brief.brillmedia.co to get our free 2018 programmatic brief. Thank you all for watching. Hank, thank you for asking me some great and provocative questions around this. I appreciate that. And everyone who watched, like, comment, and share, as the kids say in live videos. Have a good day.